Hey there, I'm Joe Dickerson with the Joe Dickerson Group at Keller Williams Realty in Oakland, California, serving San Francisco Bay Area's home buyers, sellers, and investors. We have a passion for helping people build wealth through real estate and focus on educating our clients to enable them to make the most thoughtful decisions possible. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to value a property that you are considering buying, and what to consider when looking at all the automated valuation tools out there on the internet, and what other factors should be considered when coming up with an offer price. If you've been following the market here in the Bay Area, you're probably aware that it's a very competitive market, with houses often selling for well over their list price. It's not uncommon in parts of Oakland in particular to see homes sell for nearly 50% over their asking price. And that means if a house was listed for $1 million, it could sell for $1.5 million. So if the list price isn't an indication of actual value, what is? Well, real estate is a special commodity in that each and every piece is unique. No house is exactly the same as another. There's always variations, whether that be in the layout, the finishes, the location, orientation, school district, near a freeway, hundreds and hundreds of other attributes. And when we're looking to determine what a home is likely to sell for, we're taking these hundreds of unique attributes and comparing them to other sales nearby. And this process is called a comparative market analysis. We're looking at sales that were recent, nearby, similar in size, and similar in quality. If the property in question is a 2-bedroom home with 1,000 square feet of living space, we're aiming to compare it with other 2-bedroom homes. We may find that looking at the last several sales of 2-bedroom homes will give us a fairly precise idea of value within maybe $10,000 or so. Or we may find that recent sales cover a huge range of values. Maybe one sold for $699,000 and one sold for $750,000 and one for $810,000. In this case, we need to figure out exactly what caused the variance among prices in those comparable sales. And from there, ideally, we can make adjustments to each until we land on a fairly narrow range for a probable value of the property in question. In honing in on fair value, it's important to look beyond the data, the size, the room count, etc. Is the property, for example, near a freeway? Or was one of the comparable sales maybe next to a gas station? Did one of them maybe need a new foundation? All of these things need to be accounted for and reconciled when coming up with a fair value and a fair offer price. Of course, each house is worth exactly what a buyer is willing to pay for it. And this means that even though we may land on a narrow range for a value, you may determine that it's not worth that much to you. Or maybe you determine that it's actually worth much, much more. So we're in a market where many of the listings are seeing multiple offers, all competing against each other. And in these cases, it's often necessary to offer at a price more than what the comparable sales may indicate in order to secure the property and win the deal. This is exactly the cause of the bidding wars that we've all heard so much about and that the Bay Area has become known for. So you may also be wondering how those estimated values that show up on various websites compare with reality. I've written on this topic before, and you can find a link to that article in the description below. Essentially, these automated valuations are just that. They're automated. They don't do well with subjective data such as views and the quality of finishes. They also can't see inside of a home and haven't read the reports, and therefore cannot understand the condition of a property. The result is that these automated valuations, like what you might find on a Zillow or a Redfin, can range anywhere from perfectly on point to wildly inaccurate. There's no harm in looking at these valuations as one piece of data to guide you towards a result. Just don't assume that they have any real degree of accuracy. So now we've covered how to come up with a fair price range for a property and what to consider when looking at those automated valuations online. But before we go, I wanted to talk about a few things that could help narrow down a little bit more the price range that we arrive at for any given property. So in Oakland and much of the East Bay and a lot of areas around the Bay Area, it's common for sellers to review offers all on the same date. In the lead up to the offer date, I spend time working with the seller's agents to determine what they're expecting to happen on that offer date. And some metrics that I ask for and that we can use together to determine what the competition may do are the number of disclosure packets requested, the number of showings scheduled, how busy their open houses were, the number of offers in hand, and the number of offers that they're expecting to arrive. If it's determined to be a very competitive situation, it often means a better offer, and often a stellar offer, is required to secure the property. So, do you rely on automated valuations more than you know you should? Are there other attributes that you are more focused on when determining value compared with other homes in the neighborhood? Let us know in the comments below. And if you've liked this video, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. I'm Joe Dickerson with the Joe Dickerson Group at Keller Williams Realty. Thank you so much for watching.